right, let's go.
Miami Vice, the show that defined the 80s. The colors, the clothes, the music.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
It created an iconic style that's still imitated today. But all the stories you've heard, they don't even begin to scratch the surface. The truth behind Miami Vice is wilder, crazier, and more unbelievable than anything they put on screen. Strap in because we're about to blow the doors off everything you thought you knew about this legendary series. Picture it, Ronald Reagan is president, MTV is king, and a little show called Miami Vice is about to change everything. But here's the thing, it almost never happened. The show that defined a decade came this close to never existing at all. And even when it did get made, the behind-the-scenes drama was crazier than any episode plot. In 1984, NBC was desperate for a hit. The crime shows were dying, music videos were exploding, and Miami was making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Their solution? Throw it all in a blender and see what happens. But what the network didn't know was that they were about to change television forever. Let's start with the basics. Miami Vice was pitched as MTV Cops, but that iconic combo? Total accident. The original idea was for a gritty police drama set in Los Angeles. No neon, no pastel, just cops in the city. The change to Miami came from an unlikely source, a newspaper article about the city's exploding drug trade. One producer saw it and had a eureka moment. Miami wasn't just a city, it was a character. The Art Deco, the Cuban influence, the beach culture, it was a world unto itself. They knew they had to set the show there. But Miami came with its own problems.
South Florida's drug trade prospers, Date's homicide rate will continue to climb.
Crime in Miami is up and tourism is down.
The city was in the middle of a vicious crime wave. The production crew had to hire off-duty police officers for protection. Real drug deals were going down just blocks from where they were filming. One scene had to be scrapped because a shootout broke out at the location the night before. This wasn't just TV, it was practically a war zone. When we come back, you won't believe how Don Johnson's Stubble nearly caused a network meltdown. Plus, the story behind the pastel suit fashion revolution no one saw coming. Welcome back. So, Miami Vice is in production, but it's chaos. The city is dangerous, the scripts are being rewritten on the fly, and the network is getting nervous. They're seeing dailies full of colors and style choices that look nothing like a typical cop show. Remember those iconic pastel suits? They weren't a fashion choice, they were a necessity. The Miami heat was so brutal that Don Johnson was passing out on set. The wardrobe department had to choose between dressing him like a dork or risking the star's health. But the network hated it. Cops in t-shirts and blazers? It made no sense to them. In the early seasons, the script called for Sonny to drive a black car, blending into the night like every other TV cop. They decided to use a black Ferrari Daytona Spider, which would of course fit a drug dealer like Sonny Burnett. And when the producers saw the footage, they realized they stumbled upon an iconic look. But Ferrari corporate didn't agree. They didn't appreciate the show using replica Ferraris, and sued for trademark infringement. Never mind that no fledgling show in its right mind would be willing to risk stunts with a bunch of six-figure exotics. As the series progressed into season 3, the legal hassles had smoothed out. Crockett's ride evolved. The black Daytona was replaced with a white Ferrari Testarossa, its bold color and sleek design becoming synonymous with Crockett's cool demeanor. This change wasn't about aesthetics. It marked a new chapter in the show's history, with the Ferrari becoming an emblem of Miami Vice's enduring legacy. Now, about Don Johnson's Stubble. The network brass hated it. They kept sending memos demanding he shave or grow a full beard. Johnson's response? He ignored them. See, he understood something the suits didn't. This was a new kind of cop show. The old rules didn't apply. That Stubble added an edgy, lived-in feel that matched the show's vibe. And then there was the music. The producers were blowing up to $100,000 per episode on song rights, unheard of at the time. The network was furious about the overspending, but the producers got creative. They started releasing soundtrack albums, and the profits more than made up for the music budget. Fans were so hungry for the Miami Vice sound that the albums went platinum. But here's the craziest part. After all those battles, all that drama, Miami Vice almost didn't make it to air. The plot was a disaster. Test audiences hated it. They found it confusing, too dark, too violent. The network was ready to write off the whole series. What no one knew was that Michael Mann, the show's executive producer, was secretly re-editing episodes himself. He'd take the footage home, cut it to music, and bring back a totally different version. When the network saw what Mann had done with the pilot, turning it into a feature film quality drama, they were stunned. They had never seen anything like it. And when the ratings came in, they knew they had a massive hit on their hands. It wasn't just the visuals Mann was experimenting with. He was blowing out the sound, making Miami Vice the first TV show to be broadcast in stereo. When other producers scoffed at the MTV Cops moniker, Mann went all in. He packed episodes with stylized montages, lush cinematography, and pounding pop songs. He wasn't just making a cop show, he was creating a whole new language for television. Miami Vice ran for 5 seasons and changed the face of television forever. Watch an episode today and you'll see the DNA strands connecting it to so many modern shows. The cinematic style, the daring music choices, the morally ambiguous heroes. Taylor Sheridan, anyone? Even the way it blurred the line between good guys and bad guys has become a defining trait of prestige TV. The show didn't just change TV, it changed culture. It made Miami an aspirational fantasy land, all white suits and turquoise oceans. It turned kitschy 50s styles and architecture into the height of 80s cool. It launched 1,000 imitators, but none could capture the lightning-in-a-bottle combo of visuals, sounds, and attitude. Without Miami Vice, the 80s as we know them simply wouldn't exist. Next up, we're diving into the behind-the-scenes secrets of another 80s icon, Magnum P.I. From the feud that almost tanked the show to the improvised stunt that made TV history, we've got the inside scoop. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single revelation. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time in Hawaii.